Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game that we're making. When we last left off, we were saving this girl right here from this thief right here, and he ran through the wall and created a hole. It was kind of interesting. But we're not quite done with this scene because this girl just gave a monkey a kiss. Because our hero is a monkey, by the way. Or is he? Because we're going to go ahead and create a special effect now. So there's a whole bunch of special effects that we can have in RPG Maker. So let's see here. We got explosions, multi-explosions. And these are just for outside of battle. In battle, you have a different assortment of special effects you can use, which we'll go after, or we'll check out eventually. Light ball, spotlight, skeleton, spooky. We have birds flying overhead. A warp, we'll skip that for the moment. We got lightning, gas, and lastly, a dragon. Because, of course, you gotta have a dragon special effect. Well, I'm actually going to be using the warp effect. That would be this right here. And we're going to have a sound effect play. This one right here. And from here, I'm going to change the graphic of our hero. So let's see here. Party display. We're going to change Monkey C into something supposedly handsome. We'll just say, yeah, he's probably gonna be that. I mean, that's handsome, right? And having changed from a monkey into some handsome human, the girl is gonna be all... Let's see here. Yay! But here comes the twist. I mean, besides the fact that the monkey just changed into a human. The twist is she's going to want to join us. She is going to be our next party member. Typos preferred not to be a thing. Of course, we're going to kind of get the player the option of deciding this. We're going to have a two-way choice, and let's see here. We can have yes or no, randomly choosing. Win-loss is basically for battles. If you lose a battle, you could have something different happen, for example. But we're going to use two messages. Uki. And, well, let's go ahead and put a period. Gotta have proper punctuation. And screech for no. Of course, we're not actually going to be giving the player a choice, because on the next page, we're going to go ahead. Let's see. Uki is yes. This one is no. So no is going to take us to page 3. And the girl is going to be all. But thou must. And it's basically going to repeat this option until we choose, which will lead us to page 4. So, choosing yes, we'll go over to page 4. And we're going to save a little bit of time here by copy-pasting this. And just to save a little bit of time as well, what I'm also going to do is copy paste this the yay thing. But we'll get rid of the message about joining. So it'll just be the yay. From here, let's go ahead and... Well, I suppose before she joins, we should probably actually make her. So let's go ahead and make our next character. So her name is... Girl. I'm not especially creative with names, by the way, in case that's not obvious. I mean, look at my name, Dragon. It's basically an alternate spelling of dragon. And pronounced differently. So, let's see here. So we got the girl. Now let's get her on our team. So, here's the thing about RPG Maker. When it comes to multiple party members, it's like Dragon Quest in a way, where your party members follow you. So, at this point, even though we only have Monkey, the game's going to act like we've had invisible party members, so that whenever she winds up joining our team, she's going to be next to Monkey. We don't really want that, because that would be weird if suddenly she was standing in a different place. So what we're going to do is, first off, event status, she's going to walk over to us real quick, or real slow, either way, and move party, gather party members. And then from here, we're going to switch on another switch. This will be switch number 3. By the way, if you wanted to, you could turn on and off a range of switches, but we're just going to stick with 3. And that'll allow us to do multiple things. First things first, we're going to have page condition here, 3. And we're going to have this do not start. That way, even though page 2 of this event has activity on it, we can't actually activate it. It's cheaper on memory than creating an entire page, when really the second page already is blank. Graphically, that is. And then we gotta have the hole in the wall. Oops, not 3. And we're going to have her disappear. And we want to make sure that the next time we come into this room... Let's see here. Where was the option again? Shoot. There it is. Intro event. We're going to make sure that the intro event does not trigger the thing in here either. So, with that in mind, let's see if this actually works. In hindsight, I probably should have chose resume so that I wouldn't have to grab the key again, but, oh well. Now, quick save just in case this doesn't work. I am robbing you! Move up, screech! Oh no, a monkey! My hero, Smooch. Yay! Let me join you. Screech. But thou must! Screech. But thou must! Screech. But thou must! Okay. Yay! And... oh yeah, I forgot the most important part. Actually getting her on our team. Let's actually do that. Whoops. So this is basically what creating a game is like. It's a whole lot of making sure things work. It's super important. So party members, add girl. Also, something else we should do is, whenever she's kissing, we should have our character look at her. So, let's look to the left. Alright, now this should work. Let's try to speed through this now. Okay, she joins. And now we have... Monkey is not a monkey anymore, which is kind of sad, but we have our second party member, which is good. And just for funsies, let me make sure that this works. Yep, it works. Neat. And from here, we can go ahead and walk out. And we no longer have the key. And I don't think we can get the other key, because he won't give us another one. I didn't program him to. So, we're basically up to speed with things that I want to do. I could put a treasure chest up here. Do I want to do that? We do need to kind of start creating some other stuff, don't we? So how about we have some fun and start creating some items and spells and stuff. So we already created a key. Let's go ahead and create a super nice weapon. So we're going to create ourselves a fire rod. It's a weapon. If we want to, we allow ourselves to drop it and sell it. So let's see here. It's a fire rod. We're going to... So this option here allows us to choose what graphic it has. We cannot modify the weapon graphics. We're just going to choose one. We can't even preview it, which is a bummer. Pretty sure there's no preview button. Nope. Curse? No, we're not going to curse it. Basically, curse is... If you equip it, you can't take it off. Not without the help of a magic spell or an NPC or something. It does not have any ill effects on your character. It just makes it so you can't easily take it off. Class, this is actually kind of important. So let's go ahead and back up real quick, and we'll go over to gameplay edit. And we're going to turn use of class on, because class is actually elemental magic. And from here we'll go to parameter names just to point it out. So here is our element types. RPG Maker only has 3. It's basically a rock, paper, scissors system. A beats B, B beats C, C beats A. Let's go ahead and change the name of this. We'll change it to fire. This will be fire element. And in case you're wondering, none is a 4th element, and by that I mean it's a element that is not an element for spells that don't have elements. So with that in mind, now that we have that in place, we can change the fire rod to a fire elemental weapon. Let's see here. We're going ahead and give an attack of 50. I'm going to take a drink of water. And I have taken a drink of water. So, in regards to the formula for attack and defense, with this having an attack of 50, that means it's going to cost 25 points of damage, assuming the enemy you're fighting has 0 defense. If the enemy had like 10 defense, that means the damage would be reduced by 5 points. That's basically what it amounts to. Attack divided by 2, and minus defense divided by 2. And there you go. And here we could have it be a weapon that hits once or twice, so we could have it be all bamf, or we could have it bamf bamf. Yeah, 1 bamf is enough. Range, it will have a single target. This option here, obviously we could have it single or all enemies. For group, basically what this means is if there's 2 identical enemies standing next to each other, what'll happen is it'll attack them both. If those 2 identical enemies are separated by another enemy, it won't hit them both. It'll only hit one of them. but we'll only have it attack 1, and we'll have it so that only Monkey C can equip it. Anybody else we create is a no-go. And we need to do something really special here, so let's go ahead and create a magic spell next. And it'll be a fire spell, of course. And we have multiple options here. Obviously, inflict and heal. We got various statuses for healing and unhealing. We also got buffs for attack, guard, and agility, as well as debuffs. The interesting thing about these here is that they are stackable. So if you keep casting increased attack on a character, their attack is going to keep going up and up. Really nice. CLMP, reflect magic, resist magic, teleport, escape, check item. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and first off want to explain these two spells right here. Reflect magic bounces magic back and causes damage. Resist magic just nullifies magic used against you. Here's the thing about these particular spells, though, in RPG Maker. They are incredibly broken. Basically, they last the entire battle. They cannot be dispelled. And despite reflecting or blocking magic, healing magic is not reflected and blocked. So, they are super duper overpowered. Anyway, let's just go ahead and create a spell that inflicts damage. We'll say it costs 1 MP and causes, I'd say 9,999 points of damage is enough. It's gonna be Fire Elemental. It's gonna hit one enemy. No, let's have it hit all enemies. Let's go balls to the wall with this spell. And let's go ahead and create some graphics for it. So the way this works here is spell animations have 3 phases. So we got a spell right here. 3 phases to the animation. Up there in the upper left corner, you can see where it is in the current animation. And you have plenty of options for spell graphics. Let's see here. Fireball, nose, various reflective things, eyes in the skull, eyes, barriers, star, potion thing, an angel, spiral, whatever this is supposed to be. Shields, electricity, definitely some good options. So let's see here. We got a fireball, but I think what I will actually use is the actual fire, which is number 20. And we got some fade options. We could have it flash or fall apart. We could change its size, ranging from extra small to extra large. Let's stick with medium, at least for the moment. Change the position relative to your character, whoever is targeting that is. We can have it shake, swirl, rotate, kind of a flat image actually. We could have it mirrored if we want, and we could duplicate it. And of course we got sound effect options if we want sound effects. Along with that, there are plenty of sample effects if we so are inclined to use sample effects. In fact, just to save a little bit of time, we'll probably hunt down some sort of fire spell. There's a fireball. You know what, let's just use the fireball. There we go. And we have various messages here. This is flavor text for your spell. So we could summon fire, we could call upon fire, we could discharge fire, we could gather fire, which is actually an oxymoron considering we're sending it out. We could also just have be plain vanilla fire. You know what? Let's go with the oxymoron. I like that. Gather fire. So we got ourselves a fire spell. And we're going to go ahead and attach it to the fire rod. Now up here we have the option of it breaking once again. We could have it break the moment you use it, or we could have it break after a chance of breaking, that sort of thing. Let's go ahead and give it a 10% chance of breaking. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm also going to create another spell that'll be kind of handy for this particular situation. It's going to be a check item spell. And we're going to call it... What is that? We're not going to have it cast any MP because that would be kind of mean. So basically what the check item spell does... Well, first, let's actually give our characters these spells. So, Monkey C is going to know the fire spell at level 1. No, he's not. No, that's attached to the rod, isn't it? Instead, we'll give him the Wazat spell. And now, we're going to create a new type of event back in Town of Town. We're going to do something about this hidden treasure chest over here. We're going to create a treasure event. Treasure events activate once and only once. You do not need to use a switch in the process. So we'll go ahead and create a graphic for before you open it and the resulting graphic after it's opened. So from here, we'll say... Let's go ahead and use message type 2, I want to say. I'm guessing that's it. Got the fire rod. Of course, we're going to have a little sound effect, perhaps. Well, that'll be the sound effect for whenever we actually get it in our message box. In fact, let's just go ahead and leave it there. And we'll also have another sound effect for when it's open. We'll go with that one. We'll wait a half a second. We'll get the message for the fire rod, and we'll add the fire rod to our inventory. Now, let's see here. There's something that might be a bit of an issue. We got Monkey knowing that Wazat spell at level 1. However, if I'm not mistaken... he doesn't actually know it when we're continuing the game because on the file we're continuing, he didn't know it. So that basically means one of two things. Either we're going to have to start the test play over, or I can be kind of cheaty, and we'll just go ahead and place a random thing here. It doesn't have to be important. Whatever the graphic it uses, we'll just have it be a door. Party status? No. Character status? Yes. Alright, Monkey, see? Learn Wazat. So, from here, I can just go ahead and... I bumped into it, therefore, I now know Wazat. And I'll show off what exactly it does and how it works. Ideally, I would have had the treasure chest change graphics while we were opening it, but I didn't. So, now we'll take a look at this Wazat spell. First things first, if we're looking at the fire rod like so, it gives us a little bit of information. It's a single attack, it's a single enemy, attack power of 50, that sort of thing. The Wazat spell gives us a little bit more information. We now also know that it has a price of 0. It's breakable. We don't know how breakable it is. It's not cursed. It has a fire spell attached to it that causes 9,999 damage against all enemies. This is a pretty useful spell, but I don't really see people using it very often. With that said, let's go ahead and equip it to Monkey C. Now then, eventually we're going to need something to use this fire rod against, But I think for the time being, let's see. I got a few minutes before our next episode break. Let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and first things first, set a quick save. And I'm going to go over a few options in the settings menu. First off, we got cursor speed. By default, it's down here, which means we've got the slow speed, but I'm going to move it fast so we can do this. Battle message speed, we'll worry about that later. Start battle, ignoring that. Plan, background color. We have the option of changing the background color if we so desire. What was this at initially? I forget. Whatever, we'll just keep it there. And from here on, we got options that are only available in test play. We can make ourselves invincible. We can make it so that random encounters are disabled. We can actually modify switches if we want. So for example, we could do this. Turn switch off to off. That way, that guy's gone again. Poor guy. Let's just go ahead and bring him back. He's back now. There are 500 switches that you can have in your game, by the way, in case you're wondering. And then we also have game system, where it tells us what options are turned on and that sort of thing. We can't actually modify these options here. We need a script in order to do that. And let's see, we'll go ahead and quick save. Now that we have the spell learned, I can go ahead and remove that door. Bye, door. Door gone. And from here, what do I want to do? I suppose we could create a dungeon, but before we go to a dungeon, I'm going to need a way to get to the dungeon, which would mean that I need a world map. You can have up to 8 world maps, and we're going to be creating one after the episode break. So we will be right back, and when we come back, we'll create a world map, we'll create a little dungeon, throw a few enemies in there. I'll show off the battle system.